I'm with Ronnie Edge today, and Ronnie is a Corvette enthusiast. So today I am going to ask Ronnie some questions about this and just get to know him a little better. How did you initially get into car restoration, and why Corvettes
Well, as we were talking, I've always been a car enthusiast ever since I was a little kid. And really my first car was a '50 Ford coupe that my dad had bought me from a neighbor. And by the time I was old enough to drive that car, I had put a V8 Corvette engine in it, an early Corvette engine in that '50 Ford coupe. Well, as time went on, I sold that, and as I went to work, I saved my money and bought a '56 Corvette that we mentioned earlier. So, we got into the Corvettes. I married my wife. She liked Corvettes. We had Corvettes early on in our marriage. Then when the kids came along, we had to get rid of them. Then when the kids left, we got back into the Corvettes, went to the shows, went to meets, and started learning about them and which ones might be desirable and which ones were more desirable than others. So we actually bought one and then kind of had more fun with that. Thought we'd buy another one, and that one was fun. So I guess we got the theory that anything any more fun than one Corvette is 3 or 4. So we've ended up with 5 at this point in our life. And one of those cars that is under construction now, it's a '56 that we're doing, which is the phase now, or the fad they call resto mod. So we're having that one done, and we're building that as a 1956 resto mod Corvette.
I think you mentioned something a little earlier about kind of a funny story early in your marriage about your wife and a poodle. So I'd like to hear about that.
We had no children, but Pam came into the marriage with a poodle, a little white French poodle, and of course, she was crazy about him. But we had a white Corvette, a '63 white Corvette at that time, that Pam drove to JU when she was going to college over there. So one day she decided she was going to dye this little poodle, and it worked out kind of fun. It was kind of unique, we'd have the white Corvette, and at this time she dyed the poodle pink. So anyway, it was just kind of a conversation thing, and she could wash the color out of him. It was food color. So just something to do back then when we were wild and crazy before the kids came along. So but then, just as our marriage progressed, we just became more and more involved in the Corvettes, and hoping that we bought some that were the right choice and would be a wise investment for us.
What would you say was your wisest investment of your collection?
Probably the '57 here, the '57 Fuelie. That was actually, that car has a lot of history and was delivered to a dealer, Gordon Thompson Chevrolet, right here in Jacksonville in August of '57. And we have all of the documentation from the time that car was delivered up and through our ownership. And we've had quite a bit of success showing that car and doing very well at shows. Of course, the shows don't pay any money, but it adds stature to the car. That car should be worth in the neighborhood of $150,000.
How about the car that's behind you right now? Tell me a little bit about that one. It's
a rare 1966 427, 425 horsepower, red on red Corvette Roadster. And the reason it's rare is it's loaded up. When I say loaded up, it has power steering, power brakes, power windows, red leather interior, headrest. It had every option you could put on that car in '66. And back in '66, when people were buying these cars, because this was the first year of the 427 cubic inch engine, which has been a mainstay for Corvette for years and years and years. Okay, so there is a car sitting behind me here. And there's a very recent, you were actually at a car show yesterday here locally, and you did very well with it. So why don't you tell me about that? That is a 1958 fuel-injected Corvette. We actually acquired that car out of Rhode Island. I've heard about that car, so I flew up to Rhode Island and looked at it, and we purchased it, brought it back. And it's been a very good car for us, very popular car. The black and silver with the red interior, people just really love. And we had it at a car show yesterday at the Ponte Vedra Chamber of Commerce yearly show, which is held at the TPC Sawgrass, which is really a nice venue. They do a real good job with their shows. But yesterday we won Most Outstanding Corvette at the Ponte Vedra show, so that was quite an accolade too for that car. Of course, we've had great success showing that car as well, but it's just really been a very, very popular car. Fact is, it was there was 24 photos in the Jacksonville.com today for the car show yesterday. 24 photos, and out of the 24 photos, we were in there. And there was probably 200 cars there yesterday.
Well, thank you very much, Ronnie, for
Always
talking
a
to me
pleasure.
today.
Always a pleasure.
Really
Enjoyed
great.
visiting with you. Thank you.